Alright, and I'll clap.
Alright, welcome to the 6-inch podcast.
Episode 5.
Yep. Seems to be going well so far.
Yeah, I suppose. Considering we are recording this before you edited the last one, because I'm going away.
Yeah, well,
Oh well.
it doesn't matter.
I like to be prepared. Who knows, but we not release the next one in a week. We could just release it instantly. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, bonus episode.
Yeah, like I was saying to our housemate, it doesn't matter because no one listens.
Yeah.
So if we miss the
exactly, they're not
miss
gonna
the drop.
they're not gonna be like, what? It's not out on Friday.
Oh no!
How fucking dare you? When I get just shit on Twitter. I was going to say something else, but it just kind of fizzled away there.
Alright, we better move on to the topics then.
Yep. Well,
Got the list here.
what do you got since you're
Well,
running the podcast?
to start off, we'd just like to, suppose we'll talk about some recent news developments. They are sort of, I guess. Yeah. One is only really relevant to Australia.
Oh.
But
I'm not familiar with this.
But a comedian, Becky Lucas.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't really know her.
Oh.
She's a comedian.
Is she big?
She's been on Australian TV, so probably not.
Okay. Alright. Did she have like a
like we think about Australian comedians.
That's what
like
I think you
Australian. No,
you've made it.
She hasn't got specials. She's because they changed ABC 2 to ABC Comedy.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, a while ago.
Is this?
I'm pretty sure ABC is about to die, but that's a whole nother topic.
I don't think it's about to die.
Really? I'm pretty sure they just had to like.
If it's government funded.
Yeah,
So
and the government keeps on dropping funding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they just had to have like a new executive step in
I
temporarily
did see
or
that,
something.
They fired that girl halfway into her term, and it was all about that she was a woman. I'm like, you're missing out on the bigger part of the thing here. Is that ABC's like, yeah, well, we're going down.
Yeah, well, they've been going down for years.
Yeah.
And Becky Lucas probably hasn't helped by, she said she made a joke on Twitter and just said like something about decapitating our current Prime Minister Scott Morrison. And I'm sure it was funny because just the image of having him decapitated, it amuses me. But
I know he's our Prime Minister, but I just always think that it's like, I don't know what he looks like. I couldn't remember his name until you just told me. I mean, he's fairly new, but
we sort of just change him willy-nilly.
Yeah, like in the last 5 years or so, we just can't stop cycling through prime ministers. It's like they realise that we can just change them whenever we want.
Yeah,
let's just do that.
America thinks they've got problems, but their election system works better than ours.
I don't know about that.
Well, we elect a prime minister, and then in 2 years, they're like, "Sorry, this guy you elected isn't doing the job properly," or we don't like him, so we stab him in the back and we get his mate to work the job for him. But
yeah, what happened to Turnbull? Is he just out of the party altogether, or has he just got a lesser job?
He probably retired. I mean, he didn't need the money.
Yeah, no, he's rich as fuck.
Like as soon as he got kicked out, he's just like going on holidays.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably do that too.
Fuck it. He's just like,
oh, I'm out. Fucking.
Yeah.
See you in Hawaii.
I tried to help a little, and you guys were cunts, so I'm out.
Yeah.
Turnbull out. But this Becky Lewis lady gets kicked off Twitter for inciting violence or something of the like. And she's right. She's right when she says it's hypocritical because
it is.
People say a lot of trash shit on Twitter. People say a lot of bad shit in general. You shouldn't be able to.
Was she verified?
I don't know. Probably
because
not.
If you verified, it's probably different rules. Like if you verified, you can't say real bad stuff. Like imagine if someone was verified that isn't black and then said the N-word, they'd be like, no, you're off.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the exact joke, so I can see if it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it was a joke.
Yeah,
this makes me think about
that happens all the time.
Where is my freedom to joke? Where is my freedom to say things that I don't mean for the sake of laughter without someone, potentially ruining
Yeah.
my career or
Yeah, I mean,
dropping me from social media or...
I've made heaps of jokes that it's like, if someone else heard that just as like a text form, they go, "This guy's a fucking he's a racist, terrible person."
Yeah, I've said
but
some...
everyone in the room laughed because it's like, joke.
Yeah, I've said some terrible things.
Yeah.
Some terrible, terrible things. But, you know, yeah, get that laugh. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. She was in a pilot on Network 10 as well.
For what?
For Disgrace.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but I don't watch fucking TV, so it's not like it really matters.
Yeah, if we talked about every TV pilot,
Yeah, we have a lot of like
we'd never stop.
we have a lot of TV pilots in Australia. That's just look, it's just Home and Away again.
Yeah, but all like you look up like the stats for how many TV pilots never become TV shows.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
People put their time and their life into getting things created.
Yeah,
and then it
it's
never
really
happens.
sad. Or it's like they get that one episode and they're like, "I did it." Wait, well, what do you mean I get to make any more?
Yeah, they get that. They're like, "Oh, this. Yep, I finally achieved my goal. My vision is real." And then they don't secure funding or whatever happens, and it's gone.
I wonder if they're like when they're with their pilots, they're like BoJack Horseman with his TV episode where it's like, "Hey, you should watch the show." I don't know, and it's always like, "So what do you think? They're pretty good, right? Huh? Who would have thought they're canceled? It's fucking crazy. It's the best thing ever." Like,
BoJack Horseman loves his own show, though.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
and it's probably. BoJack Horseman's a crazy show about a character that's sad.
Yeah, and just like a terrible person.
But the next...
Well, hang on, before we get to that.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman is kind of like Californication. It's got that same vibe. Like...
You say that about...
2 shows.
Yeah.
2 shows.
And it pisses me off. Why does a show have to be like another show?
Because it is like
Why can't it be a show?
Because there are plenty of shows that are like another show.
Yeah, but...
Like, Home and Away is like Neighbours and vice
on
versa.
a very surface level.
Yeah.
True. They're both shit dramas made in Australia, you know, dramatising what they want us to believe is real life. But that's about it. There's 1,000 shows like that, but I'm not saying that Neighbours is like, you know, the American equivalent. You don't have to always...
You can say that.
What's the word?
You're looking for...
relate to things.
For, fuck. I know what you're trying to say, too. Anyway, we'll just move on then. The word will come to me.
No, I don't care.
Generalise. Is that what you're after?
No.
Damn it. Anyway.
Just next on the... Just like...
Agenda.
Yeah, current news. Elon Musk settled some lawsuit with the US government or something for like $55 million or...
Which isn't that much to him.
Or, yeah, how much they make at the end of the last financial year? Like
I'm pretty sure they lost money.
$3 billion in cash they had or something?
I thought they lost money, or maybe that was the last financial year and not the current one.
I don't know, man.
Because I'm pretty
You'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also got him to... He has to stand down as chairman for at least 3 years. But he can still remain executive or something. It makes me... I was worried when the news first came up if it was going to be like the end of my dreams for Elon Musk to rule the world, but I think it's only delayed the inevitable.
And also, it's not like that's going to stop him not hitting and go, "That's it, I can't rule the world."
No, it's not going to stop him.
And also
because Tesla isn't a company without him because he's such a...
visionary.
Yeah, he's
like Steve Jobs.
Yeah, you don't get rid of Steve Jobs.
In Apple. Well, yeah.
Well, you don't.
I mean, unless Steve Jobs get rid of himself.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, the shares for Tesla have dropped 13%.
Yep.
Which is a pretty huge thing. Drop 13% is insane.
Yeah, how much funding is that?
I don't know. I could translate that for you.
It's a lot of funding.
Mm.
They lost a lot of.
Also,
stakeholder
Tesla
funding.
makes 11.7 billion US per year, compared to Ford, who makes 156 billion.
Yeah, so
Even though Ford's much bigger, I'm just giving you
Tesla's.
a range. That's actually still a small company, even though I get talked about a lot.
Yeah, because it's ever growing, and some
Yeah,
of the shit,
and
some
also
of the shit
they-
they have is crazy.
I mean, they only make like one product or two.
Everything Elon Musk does is just crazy interesting.
Or it's like, that's a really good idea. I wonder if you could actually do that, like the old tunneling under LA. It's
Well,
like
he's trying,
That
isn't he?
is. I'm pretty sure he's still doing it, but I don't
Yeah.
know if whether it's actually going to come to fruition. Whether he can actually tunnel on the. It's a great idea. The way he talks about it sounds like a great idea, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
I think the only thing holding back a person like Elon Musk is
The government regulation.
Yeah.
But he talks about like.
And being sued by people for saying things on the internet, you know?
Yeah.
Like if
Or
he
for
just
smoking joints.
yeah, like he should probably just become like Doctor Doom or something and just have his
Fucking
own,
Doctor.
have a country in Europe where he can just do whatever
Wait,
the
what?
fuck he wants and
That-
becomes like the
that-
world's greatest scientist.
Did that happen in the comics?
Doctor Doom is
Yeah.
the leader of his own country. Latveria.
Is he rich? Doctor Doom.
He's a fucking monarch.
No, I mean like before he was Doctor Doom. Because I thought it was Elastic Man
What?
that was rich. I can't remember the Fantastic
The
Four
fuck?
people.
You don't actually know what you're talking
Long
about.
armed man, Stretch Man.
Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, isn't he the rich one?
He's the scientist one.
So fair, he's not rich.
Well, they pretty much own the backs. They probably I don't know if he probably wasn't born rich, but
You can
probably
become rich.
he probably becomes rich by being like a brilliant
Okay.
scientist.
But I thought he was the one that funded the mission that gave him all their powers. Or was that Doom?
Could have been Doom. Doom's a scientist as well. He was.
I'm also going off of the movie and not the comics.
Well, you should really just not bring up the movies.
The first one's pretty good.
Yeah, well-
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, well, your opinion isn't welcome here.
Wait,
about...
do you know?
I don't like the Fantastic Four movies.
Huh. Apparently the comics are really good, but I'm just like.
They're a great team, and
Are
that's
they?
why I don't like.
But they,
The
but
Fantastic
in all
Four
real
comics.
that realisticness, they don't
Movies.
seem that strong. They've got a guy that can stretch, a girl that can turn invisible, a guy that can turn into flame and fly. I think. And
Okay, well, first of
and
all-
strong man.
First of all, Johnny Storm can, like, even just based off those movies you mentioned,
Mm.
he can generate the heat of a fucking sun. If that's not
Is that in the movie?
yeah, he's
When does
going
he do that?
supernova.
I remember that.
You don't? Oh,
No.
you should really pay
It's
attention.
been a
We've
long
talked
time.
about this
It's
before.
been about 10 years since
You
I've
need
seen that
to
movie.
stop referencing movies that you haven't watched more than once and can't remember half the plot.
No, the thing is, I referenced the part of the movie that I know. Then you bring up the other part, and I go, I remember. The main thing that I remember about the first one is that Jessica Alba takes all her clothes off to become
to be
invisible.
naked.
A peak time. And then also, Chris Evans, he flies off his motorcycle and turns into Storm. Not Storm. Flame Man. Oh well. Doesn't matter. And then it's like, wow, look how cool he is. And he's like, yeah, I'm cool.
And then he
that's the
becomes
movie.
Captain America.
Yeah. And then he gets fucking jacked.
Yeah, he gets jacked.
He's like, I'm
He gets-
Captain America
He gets
now.
jacked and immediately becomes a better actor. Because Johnny Storm is... No, he's not
No,
a
wait,
great
was he Captain America before or after Scott Pilgrim? Because he was in that. Wait, Scott Pilgrim? Is that what it's called?
actor. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah. No, I was just curious if it was Pilgrim. But anyway, he's in that. Was that before or after
Well, I don't know.
Captain America, huh? That's what we got Google for. But back to Elon Musk.
Yeah, he should just become Doctor Doom. Settle down in his own country.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe a bit...
I mean, he
maybe
put-
be a bit...
Zimbabwe is like really in debt hard. They're always in debt. Like I'm pretty sure that before they reset their currency last time, one
So you
Australian
say things that
dollar.
I'm not sure if you're right. So
No,
unless,
no,
you,
no, this-
unless you provide me with
no,
evidence.
this is true. This is true.
Well, I'll take your
this
word
was
for
a
it, I
joke
suppose.
at school.
Oh, okay.
That
Because we joked about it in school, that must make it
no,
true.
it's a joke because it's true. That I could become before they reset their currency, I could become an instant billionaire by taking one of my Australian dollars and taking it to Zimbabwe and going, I'd like to cash this in.
Isn't the point that you can't buy anything with that money anyway?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying I could become an instant. Like I was saying, like I wonder if we could open
Doesn't
an
it get to the
account.
point in countries in Africa where you're bringing because the government just keeps on creating money?
Yeah,
And they
that
just-
has that problem.
And that's how you fuck your economy, and then it gets to the point where you need a wheelbarrow of cash to buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah, essentially. But also, America, Captain America: The First Avenger was 1 year after Scott Pilgrim. But he probably wouldn't be filming by that time. But he definitely wasn't huge in Scott Pilgrim. He was just like a dude.
Probably wasn't even that huge in Captain America.
Yeah, he was. You remember that scene where he comes out of the pod and you're like, fuck.
How much of that movie was CGI? How much?
I mean, the part where he's thin is CGI.
And if that's CGI, who says the part about him being
Pretty
huge isn't?
I mean, you see it. You
Maybe
see
he's
his body.
Maybe he's jacked now.
He was jacked then. He was jacked. He got bigger
You can't-
now,
you can't-
but he's still in great shape.
You can't prove that to me. As
Can't
much as
I?
I can't prove that it's CGI, but it could be.
I'm pretty sure it's his body. He went through
Pretty
this ruthless training.
pretty sure
regime
isn't
of-
good enough for me.
I saw an interview of like him talking about training. Maybe
Yeah, because people don't like.
maybe he did that scene and they amped him up a bit
Maybe.
because he's still pretty big.
Yeah, but
When that movie came out.
don't know.
Yeah. But also in that scene, I feel like they maybe enhanced his pecs because he
Maybe.
has real big pecs in that scene, and I remember having those pecs again. But yeah, he doesn't have a Henry Cavill pecs. Like,
No,
just, like,
he looks
huge.
He looks. Henry Cavill looks like he has, like, weights
Yeah,
in his chest.
yeah. But also Henry Cavill, because he keeps his hairy chest, it makes him look bigger. Because it's not just. Oh, there he is. It's like a little distortion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or are you just saying, yeah, sure, whatever? I
Yeah,
don't know.
well,
Fuck off.
I'm sure if he had a bald chest, then it wouldn't look as big. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Also, see, you remember ages ago, you probably keep up with this more than I do, but wasn't there like a Captain America like panel or comic that came out that he's hailing Hydra? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I haven't read.
Yeah, but
I haven't read it, but I did.
But
when
what happened
when that happened, it was just like Captain America is part of Hydra this whole time, or something. Some people were mad about it, but I don't think that's how the story ended. I think it ended as like a double ruse.
Yeah, that's what kind of I thought would happen, but I don't know because I never really looked. Also, have you seen the comic with Batman's cock?
No, I haven't seen, but I have seen that it exists.
Yeah, because I heard about them. Went I have to look this up, and it's there. It's like there's his dick. It's just hanging out.
Yeah. Apparently, DC regrets that.
Oh, do they?
Well, they regret showing the Batarang. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I suppose if you were to buy that comic now, it doesn't have his cock in it
Why?
because they took it out. You can only if you want to buy one with his dick in it, you have to get it off someone else who already has it.
Why'd they put it in the first place?
Because it's I mean, Batman to me is an adult comic now.
Yeah,
These
but
days. You don't have nudity. There's
but
nudity
why
in it.
put it in if you're gonna just like bitch out?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Why?
Maybe they realized
Why is
afterwards that maybe it was a
nudity-
bit too much.
Why is nudity such a
Especially
taboo thing?
Male.
Like,
nudity, like putting a dick in something is like, whoa, hang on, you can't do that.
yeah, we take our clothes off down the street, we go to jail.
Yeah, well, the rule is like in certain places, anywhere a man can be shirtless, a woman can be shirtless. Like, that sounds pretty good to me.
Can't a man be shirtless anywhere?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's what they're like. If a man can be shirtless, a woman can be shirtless. It's like, I can see your point, but you do have tits.
Yeah.
We do not.
Yeah, well, like I'm all for female nudity, but
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's going to fix any problems saying that women can get their tits out down the street, because don't we already have issues with men objectifying them while they're wearing clothes?
Yeah.
Isn't this a problem that we have?
Yeah, but I think they're more protesting like a form of like freedom, like
You should be able to.
yes.
Well, that's the same as anything. The government's always telling us we can't do things.
Yeah, but that's how we get.
Can't take drugs.
Society.
Or you have to wear a helmet.
We're talking about this today.
It was just like some nanny state bullshit. It may endanger your life, but it's my fucking life. You let me drink alcohol. How many times has that almost killed me? Maybe a handful.
Yeah.
Like, that's completely legal.
Yep.
Tobacco, that's killing heaps of people. But it's fun. It's making money for them. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if I start giving them
$2
$2 every time I don't wear a helmet when I ride my bike, are they okay with that? Maybe I fall off and die in a couple of years. They're okay with it though, because they made a couple $100.
Yeah. And then if you and everyone else is doing it, they're making shitloads of cash. And it's like, oh, someone's dead.
Or drugs.
We got more.
It's these certain drugs. You can't take these certain drugs because we said that they could be harmful, or you may abuse them. Like, but you can have these drugs. We said these drugs are okay. You can abuse these any way you want, and these will still kill you. But the other ones, you can't have them because
we don't like.
They're a little too fun.
Yeah.
But
also to their
surely they won't let us have
like addictive, like meth and heroin.
Yeah, but
for example,
they're not fixing any problems by making it illegal and criminalizing people that do drugs.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe if more people were like,
drugs
I could buy some heroin
in sci-fi.
In a thing.
In sci-fi, drugs are often depicted as legalized recreational use.
Yeah.
And that's just like a safety issue.
And also, a lot of the times they're in like in a few movies, they're in like asthma inhalers. They just, oh yeah, and when we get high, it's like, oh, I suppose that's a
safer way to do it, right?
Yeah,
it would be.
You just, ooh, high.
They really don't, like, if Australia decriminalised
marijuana,
or, at least marijuana, would solve some issues.
Yeah.
But put my conspiracy hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Governments don't want us doing. Governments don't want us doing hallucinogens, mushrooms, LSD, acid, DMT, because it opens our eyes to the real truth. That
I don't know. I feel like
they're actually just stopping us from doing nothing wrong. Nothing bad's going to get. They're just.
I don't know. I think I've read a few stories about people like on certain hallucinogens and they're killing themselves accidentally.
Yeah, well, I can accidentally kill myself from drinking alcohol. I could be drunk. I could get off a tram, and someone might run me over.
But if you get off a tram when a tram's supposed to be getting off, that isn't your fault.
Yeah, well,
even if you're drunk or not,
did almost get hit.
Supposed to stop.
I did almost get hit in Melbourne at least a few times.
Yeah, a few times where I was.
I'm like, if I was drunk,
I'm coming off here.
If a few times it happened, I was like, if I were drunk, I would be dead right now because when I'm drunk, I jump off the tram. I just jump.
Yeah.
And if I had just jumped, I would have fucking died because this guy was going 80 past the stop tram.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think. I could have died. I could have had that pure bliss. It could have been over. But then I have to sit through another 2 years of.
Yeah. One of my high school teachers liked to tell a story about a time that he got hit by a tram and it changed his life. Not hit by a tram, sorry. He got hit by a car coming off a tram and changed his life. But every time he tells a story, I go, wasn't that bad? I don't know how it changed your life.
Why did it change his life?
I don't know. He was saying that like he was doing... Maybe change his life is a bit of an exaggeration. Basically, he was coming off a tram and then a car was like just coming around the tram. So I'll go past it and didn't realise that someone was getting off. And so then it hit him. But apparently he said after that, even though he was like, 13 or 14. He was like, it changed my life. And I was like, no, it didn't. You're just making shit up.
If I became a teacher and said, I did acid and it changed my life.
There's no way you'd lose your job.
Yeah, I know. But it's true, like, that's the problem. They don't educate people on what
like
those things do.
That guy with the mushroom hat on Joe Rogan.
Paul Stammet.
Yeah, that was a really interesting podcast, but he said that mushroom changed his life, essentially. Even though he's a mushroom expert, but still.
Yeah, oh yeah, getting some more goon. Very classy.
I am. It's quite tasty.
If we educated people on, like, drugs properly and safely, I don't think it would be an issue. Because people are doing them anyway. Always going to be doing them. Curiosity always outweighs...
laws.
Yeah, like, I think I've already said. My curiosity outweighs my inhibition to do illegal activity. So I want to try things.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain illegal stuff that I won't try.
Yeah, because it depends whether it's harmful to other people. And me sitting in my house, putting something in my mouth and waiting for an hour isn't doing anything.
That's essentially how I look at all things. As long as it's not hurting anybody else, who cares, really?
Exactly.
That's why I'm like, actually, I might say that. Let's continue. Oh, if we can cut it out. I was saying, that's why I've never, like, understand why people say you shouldn't commit suicide all the time. If they really want to, they shouldn't be allowed to.
It's a selfish move.
It is. It's but like if you're that bad where they get to the point they want to kill themselves, maybe it's beneficial for them.
I can't agree with suicide.
I mean, I wouldn't do it probably, but then again, I'm not got to the point where I felt
like
suicide's a good option.
Like I've thought about it a lot. Clearly.
I have too. But it's not like I actually do it. Just more of a curiosity. Like, would I do that?
Mine's the other one. And I just think it's just like a selfish move because things could be better. And if you've got people that, you know, love you, then like killing yourself, that doesn't affect you, but it does cause a lot of pain after you do it. And for someone to just be so negligent of certain people that they would possibly ruin their life because your life isn't going so well. And maybe you think those people deserve it, and like, does anyone deserve
Have you watched
that sort of pain?
What's that show? 13 Reasons Why?
No, I haven't.
First season is one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen in terms of compellingness and the way they did characters. Fantastic. Second season just ruined the first season because the writers were like, we're going to make a second season, let's just make up shit that ruins the first one. The first season, I started watching it, I was like, this is extremely compelling. It was really good.
What's compelling about it?
It's just like, it just felt like real. Even though there was a few parts that I'm like, alright, come on. But like, it's just the characters felt like this could exist, and they still had like the mystery, which I'm always a big fan of, like the mystery of why she killed herself. So you kind of start watching like, well, I don't know why she killed herself. So you just kind of keep watching, and then it keeps going. I would watch the
first step, and I would probably just be like, I think I know why she killed herself, and I think this whole story of her telling people why she killed herself is only going to make someone want to kill themselves. Am I right?
No, that show has a very anti-suicide message to the point where at the end of... Well, first off, which one thing I hate about that fucking show is that before they display a like graphic scene, before the episode plays, they will say, this episode involves scenes of rape or suicide. I'm like, you spoiled your own show. Like, I didn't know that was coming. Now I do.
When did you watch it?
A few years ago when it came out.
Well, it did come out a few years ago.
Came out like 2017? So, last year. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway. Yeah. And
yeah, well, it was in the news for being
I haven't paid attention
extreme or something.
It's not that extreme.
I mean, also, I just saw
they ruined their own show. It's more went up.
Next on our topic, anyway, was Maniac.
Oh, I was going to say...
Spoiler for Maniac, but I saw You know, we're talking about extreme. I
Hang
saw a man get like basically shot in half with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, that was so fucking, like, I don't know if you heard me go, oh, fuck, from my room, but I was just like, did not see that
Every
coming.
time I was watching that show and something crazy violent happened, I was eating chicken.
No.
So, like, you know, like the drill in the head and the guy's just like...
Yeah.
I was eating chicken. I was just like, damn. Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah. But
Good
I
chicken.
thought we were going to segue a different topic, but we'll continue with Maniac, since we've both seen all of it. I watched it first, and then they recommended it to you. And also, I feel like the show kind of recommended itself when you just occasionally come in and you just see me watching it, and you're just like, what the fuck are you watching?
Yeah, because I didn't really know what it was about.
Yeah.
And I'd just seen that it had Jonah Hill and Emma Stone in it, and I was like, it's an interesting coupling of main characters.
Yeah,
but
weren't they both in Superbad? Remembering correctly? I've only seen Superbad once. Apparently it's a classic, but I don't really remember much
yeah, I
about
think they are.
I should really watch that movie again, because I read like a thing on Reddit about like how someone was saying it's like a modern like classic or something. No, that's probably not. Maybe
They're
like,
gonna say like a movie title, but no, modern classic.
yeah. I was trying to like think if that's what they said, but they were, I don't know if it's modern club, but they were like saying how it's like a trendsetter, I guess, or something like that. Or how it's like it's a more important movie than you'd think.
I mean,
And I'm like, I should really watch that again.
I remember laughing at McLovin. Probably the funniest part was the cops.
I was about to say, when they're like red light, it just the sirens on for half a second. And like, oh yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, back to Maniac. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was
Did you like
interesting, I guess.
as
When
much as I did?
When it started, I thought it was gonna try to have some like crazy, meaningful like message that I might not get, and then I watched the last ep and I'm like, so in the end, nothing crazy, just people want to have friends, right?
Sure. Okay. That's interesting how you interpreted that.
Like life is shit and lonely, but if you have some person to chill, because they drive, you know, the Asian scientist and the weird computer fucking scientist.
Did you think the Asian scientist was fucking hot?
Yeah, she's
Because the whole time
she's
just like,
hilarious.
damn, she's hot. But I was like, I don't know if it's just me being like, damn, she's hot, or she's actually hot.
No, she's a good looking chick.
And I don't know
But,
if her accent was
at the end-
pulling me over.
At the end of the
It was
last
sexy.
ep, they drive past each other on the road. Those two couples find their friendship, and everything's a bit better for them. That's what I got from it.
I thought they were like insinuating that they were soulmates,
Yeah,
as opposed to just friends.
possibly. But
Because they
the
kept.
point of that is that like those
And
characters,
that's why-
those characters were suffering from issues
Yeah.
that basically came down to being lonely.
I mean,
And in there,
Owen still saw stuff that wasn't real.
those drugs. Well, yeah, he saw a brother that he wanted
Actually,
because his brother was a terrible person.
Also-
so he hallucinated.
you remember?
He hallucinated a better brother.
And also, you remember that scene where it's just like talking about how like you can hire services to fuck with people. His mother is telling Owen that. She's like, there's this service that you can hire, and she's like, allegedly, and all this stuff, as if she's gonna hire it, and it's like basically they can pretend to be anyone that they want, and they can stalk you and find out anything they want. You remember saying that?
No, I don't. But I remember there being a lot of fucked up commercial items in that show, like Daddy's Home.
What was that one
It
again?
was like you can hire some dude to pretend to be the father. Like if your like husband's dead, you can hire someone to come home, like pretend to be the kid's dad. Like that's fucking weird, and like can't be healthy. Like that's gonna cause some problems in their society.
But yeah, I really thought that even if you don't remember, there's definitely a part where she was explaining that there's a service that you apparently can hire. That basically they.
My favorite part was the
hey, let me finish this
the
point.
buddy system.
Let me finish this point. Well, basically, they would hire. I thought she was insinuating that Owen's visions weren't real. That she had hired someone to fuck with him, so that way he would think he's fucked up. That's what I thought there was happening in that scene.
I thought that was totally a likely option that like
they would just
The reason they thought he, like, the whole blip thing that he talks about is just his family being cunts.
Every time they say blip, I'm like, the way they say it makes me think that it isn't real. The blip, and I'm like, but then again, he does have that part where he has his breakdown about how he thinks there was his best friend he was going to marry or something that was actually hired by his family. Remember? Well, when he takes
I don't know.
Takes the first pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was like, is that like actually true, or is it his like paranoia about like the pattern or whatever he keeps saying?
Could be either. Who knows?
But I was surprised that it had a happy ending, to be honest.
Why? Don't most shows try to go for a happy ending?
Really dark show.
Was it?
Yeah, especially when they get into like the issues with like Owen and Emma Stone. I can't remember fucking Emma Stone's character's name. Is it Emma? No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Or was it? I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
I feel like they say Owen way more than they say her name.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
She says his name a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, like, especially when they go into stuff about how, like, she feels like, she, like, feels kind of, like, sad about her sister, essentially, that she never really attempted to connect with her, despite having all opportunity to do so.
What?
Yeah. Like, that's like a whole, like, that's why she's addicted to the A pill, because then she can relive her sister's death over and over again. That means she gets to spend more time with her.
I don't think that's why she enjoyed... I think she wanted to do the A pill just to see her. I don't think it was not because she didn't reconnect. Because she fucking felt bad about what happened in the last time, but still...
I'm pretty sure she said it.
The A pill takes her to a place where she can see her sister.
Yeah. Isn't that what I just said?
Yeah, but didn't you say she was sad because she didn't connect with her sister?
Yeah, because in the times leading up to her death, she was a horrible person to her, essentially.
That's not because she wasn't connecting with her. That's because she didn't want her to leave. Because her sister was leaving.
Yeah, but...
moving somewhere.
Yeah.
And she didn't want her to leave.
Okay. Oh. I give you that. But anyway, the main reason that I watched it was because the director did the first season of True Detective, which made me go, well, I have to watch it, and I'm really glad I did, because I don't think I would have watched it otherwise.
Why?
Because I don't like Jonah Hill.
Why don't you like Jonah Hill?
Because the only things that I've seen him in are shit.
And that's his fault?
And
that's his fault?
I feel like he's just a typecast.
Yeah, that's because that's what happens when you're fat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily saying it's his fault. It's just that he gets typecast, and the typecast is usually in movies that I go.
You didn't like him because of the typecast.
Yeah.
I try not to fall for that. So I see.
But there's certain people that'll always be in the same role. Like Samuel L. Jackson basically plays the same role.
Yeah, but you can't say they'll always be in the same role. So I never exclude a show because it has an actor. I always go, maybe this is where I see this actor act.
Well, I'm definitely like that with Vince Vaughn. Not that anything to do with True Detective Season 2, just generally movies he's in I don't like, except for Dodgeball. But I feel like that wasn't because of him, though. That was because it was a fun movie.
He's good in it.
He's alright. I feel like it was, who plays the villain in that movie? I can't remember.
Yeah, you know I'm bad at names.
I can't remember his name. The villain in, is it Steve Carell? No, it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah, and he fucked up his wife's face in the filming or something.
Oh, but anyway, yeah. I feel like he was way better in that movie, and Vince Vaughn was just like a blank slate, because it's like, he's just there to be a good guy.
He's there to be the average Joe.
Yeah, exactly. But the only characters were the ones that were around him as opposed to him. You know what I mean?
They're all average Joes.
Which is why, no way. I mean, fucking They're like all like the fucking pirate man. He's not an average Joe. He thinks he's a pirate.
Yeah, but average is
He thinks he's a pirate.
average is exactly that. Like it's only the average, right? So like,
What?
there's outliers.
When I say average Joe, I think of just a normal man as opposed to a guy that thinks he's a pirate and
there's-
speaks in pirate time
and I'm
dresses
saying-
like a pirate.
That some average people are average and they're just like Vince Vaughn, and there are outliers
But
like
then there's
Pirate
average
Man.
people.
Well, basically they're people.
I mean, every person is part of the people, but not average. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I don't really like Vince Vaughn that much because I think he's shit, and it
Why do you
especially
think
killed
he's
me.
shit?
Because everything I've seen him in, aside from Dodgeball, I've just hated him.
And that's his fault.
No, it's not necessarily his fault. He's
But that's
probably
why
a
you
very
hate him.
talented actor. He just happens to be in a lot of things that I don't like.
And that's so you hate him.
I don't hate him personally. If I saw Vince Vaughn, I wouldn't be like, I fucking hate you. I'd be like, hey, Vince Vaughn, that's great.
But you don't like his movies.
No. And it just has a special place in my heart where he killed True Detective.
Did he though?
He did. But his whole, you have to admit, come on, his whole sequence in season 2 went nowhere. And it was just terrible.
Really? Because I thought it was interesting.
Really? I just thought, like, you make
That whole
you're
he's trying to get that
railway passage,
yeah,
or whatever, and then
that
he,
East Coast railway,
yeah,
with the
and
cities.
then he went liquid and gave all his money
and
to
Australia's-
Casper the man, then died.
Isn't Australia trying to do a similar thing? Which makes me just think that True Detectives predicted the corrupt system that
No, the thing
Australia's
is,
trying to
the story
create.
of season 2 is actually pretty strong. They just went about it wrong.
How?
Like they should have focused more on the investigation, or especially when they revealed the. I assume. Hang on, have you seen it all?
Yeah.
Just in case, especially when they revealed the killer is like who cares? Like, oh yeah, it's them. As opposed to in first season where it was like that's fucking him. It's him. It was like a huge moment. They ended the episode on that moment of it's him. It's that.
Yeah, but he
guy.
wasn't like a. Right. I don't think True Detective season 1 got me through the season because of the mystery. I called it.
You called it in what way?
There was a creepy dude on a lawnmower at a school
Oh,
with
yeah.
burns on his face, and I was like, it's probably that guy. And then they're like, oh, like you said, they drop it at the end of an episode. And they're like, it's him. Like, oh, it's the guy that mows the lawns at all those schools? Fuck, I think I called
I guess
that.
you weren't as engaged as me, because if you engaged like I wasn't even I was just enjoying the show, and I wasn't even thinking.
I'm enjoying.
Maybe it's him, and maybe it's that. I was just like, this is. Just
I'm
fantastic.
enjoying the show, but I'm always analysing.
Yeah,
Always,
I feel like
always
I
trying
only-
to write the
I only-
script for them.
I analyze when a show's in like a downtime. Like I never had the. Actually, I'll wait for later to bring that up. But we didn't talk about True Detective. You don't think the first season is as good as I think it is?
No, I think it's one of my favourite season of television ever.
But you don't think it's perfect like I think it.
No, I don't think it's, it doesn't stand tall above season 2 like you think.
Yeah, okay, all right, that's fair enough. Okay. I mean, I know that you know that I think you're wrong, but that's all about opinions. Everyone is right in their own way. Actually, it's like how like Sin City. Probably isn't that good of a movie to most people, but something about it just makes me think this is great.
Everybody has their own interests in
Yeah.
things. I fucking love Conan the Barbarian, but I don't think everyone likes it.
It's pretty highly rated. I'll look at whatever it is on.
Well, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's my main man. But for I have friends that will shit on me if I legitimately say that I like him and then think he's great.
So I got a 6.9. So does it kill you that I haven't seen it?
No, I don't care.
Well, I feel like
It's your bad,
I feel
not
like I
mine.
should watch it because it seems like it'd be a movie that I would like.
It's really good.
Just haven't watched it.
It's like the first
Is
high
Will
fantasy thing.
in the
I
first
saw.
one? Sorry, yeah, Will. change on the basketball player, the really tall guy from that photo. Is he in the
No,
first
he's
one?
only in the second one.
Oh, he's in the second one.
Conan the Conqueror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's not as good.
Ah,
In fact, I don't like it at all.
but he's
And then he's in Red Sonja.
who?
Conan, basically.
Okay.
Well, Arnold's in Red Sonja, and he basically plays.
What's-
I'm just like,
Red
look, it's
Sonja?
Conan. It's
I haven't
exactly
heard
what it is. It's Red Sonja.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie based off a character just like Conan the Barbarian, but it's Red Sonja, not Conan the Barbarian.
Alright. I feel like I should watch both of them just so I can enjoy the first one and then see Will in the second one.
Yeah. He's a fucking
Because-
huge dude.
Will is just he's a really fun personality
Like,
because he was like
I
Shaq
think there's a
before Shaq.
picture. I think there's a picture of him and Andre the Giant picking
Yeah.
up Arnold.
Yeah, and he just looks like me. He looks so small.
Yeah, he's just fucking crazy because he's still a tank. But those dudes are huge.
Yeah, Wilt's like 7'1".
Andre the Giant was probably drunk as well.
Like I feel like I remember
trying to be, anyway.
Andre the Giant being not that big.
What?
Like in
Dude
terms
was
of
enormous.
height.
He was enormous.
Like I remember looking it up and being like, nope. I must have been thinking about someone else because he's 7'4".
He's enormous.
I thought I remember him not
He
being
is-
as big. Or maybe I'm thinking
he is
someone else.
He is so big that like
Did yeah.
police follow him to make sure he doesn't fall asleep on people because
Yeah.
people could die. You know,
Yeah.
that's sort of just like he
Also-
he could kill me if he wanted to sit on me.
Yeah,
He
do
could,
you know
I would die.
It's probably not a surprise, but he had a special like toilet because he couldn't use normal ones.
Yeah.
He was so big.
He also drank
I mean,
like an insane amount.
the poor guy. I mean, he didn't have like in terms of
And a
much
beer can.
going
A
for
beer
him.
can's like that.
Yeah.
Like, just like the size,
he would have
the
to
width of
drink
his
like
hand.
a bottle of like, vodka to get drunk.
No. You should
No,
look up.
not like out of your mind drunk. You've been like, oh yeah, and now he's kind of
You
drunk.
should look up how much he drinks, man, because it's crazy.
All right,
Well, he's drunk.
I'll look it
sorry.
up. Andre the Giant
Man is dead.
drinking habits. Do you want to move to the next? Actually, no. I was going to talk about sharp objects.
That's next on my list.
Oh, well then that's great. Hang on. But yeah, because we're talking about True Detective and how I only really ponder who the killer is once the.
Sharp objects.
Hang on a minute. This article says that 99 bottles of beer on the wall would only give him a buzz.
He drank heaps. It's crazy.
99 bottles. And you only get buzz?
It's crazy. Imagine.
He must have had something
Imagine being
genetically wrong with him.
Yeah. Well, his size.
I know, but there's
would've-
people his size that. I mean,
I know,
I watch lots of basketballs. A lot of huge dudes that would not be able to drink 99
I
bottles
know,
and only be
but
buzzed.
imagine being a giant,
Yeah.
and I can drink a lot, right?
What was his
I
weight
can
at
drink a
the
lot,
end?
and I probably attributed to drinking a lot and growing a tolerance. And imagine being that size, and then drinking and growing
Ooh.
a tolerance.
He was 935 kilos at 7'4".
900.
35 kilos.
That's.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh probably less than 100.
Let's see, and I weigh about 60.
Isn't that
so
almost?
combine us.
Isn't that almost a ton? That's almost a ton. He weighed almost
Isn't a ton
1,000
1,000
kilos.
kilos, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's a fifth of a ton. Isn't that how that math? No, a quarter of a ton.
How much did you say he weighed?
235 kilos.
Oh, I thought you said 900. So I was like,
No!
what the fuck?
Fucking 900. He wouldn't be able to move. I don't think anyone in their history has weighed 900
No,
kilos.
you'd be dead.
Yeah, your heart would stop.
Yeah.
Before you weighed 900 kilos.
It's fucking huge dude.
Yeah. Big Show isn't that big. And he's like...
Big Show is a joke. It's just a name. Andre the
I
Giant.
mean, Big Show is pretty... I think Big Show's the guy I looked up and went, oh, he isn't that big. Hang on. Let me just look up Big Show height.
Big Show is exactly in his name. It's just a show. Andre the
Oh,
Giant.
no, he's
a
6,
giant.
7 feet tall. That's huge.
Yeah, well.
There was someone that looked up and went, oh, he isn't that big. I can't remember who it is now. The Undertaker is a guy who was surprisingly huge.
Maybe it was John Cena. I don't think he's that
No,
big.
no. I don't think of him as like a huge. I think it's like a tall dude, like 6'3". Or 6'4".
and jacked. Absolutely fucking jacked.
Yeah, but he's just a really nice guy.
Hey, I've never met him.
Anyway, back to Sharp Objects. Basically, I was saying that show never had a point where I would think, this is slowing it down. Let me think about who the killer is.
Really?
It was just really good.
You have to wait for a show to slow down for you to think about it?
So think about who the
Sharp
killer
Objects,
is.
I feel like Sharp Objects is that show that I watch and it happens 2 eps in, I'm like, call it. It doesn't happen. And it's not. I don't want things to be predictable, but sometimes they are. Like when you consume content on the level that I do, sometimes you just and shows keep running, and like Arrow's still running. I watched that. I'm just like, I can tell you how this episode will end because it is a fucking specific writing style and just. Yeah. Well, so is Game of Thrones. That's my opinion. It's turned into a soap opera.
I think it's still compelling there.
Last season was trash for me.
Really?
I enjoyed the. I enjoyed. I had sheer joy at just having characters I liked together. Like when Tormund and the Hound and all, they were like, and Beric was just like doing that nice quest beyond the wall. I was like, that's the best. That was the best thing that happened.
When Jon Snow met Khaleesi, that's like a huge moment.
And they fucked.
Boat sex.
Yeah.
that was a huge like thing leading up to the last episode was like on Reddit like hashtag boat sex. It's gonna happen. And there was like a 1-page like whole article about how it's gonna happen and how they can prove it's gonna happen. And they were completely right.
Yeah. Well.
I
was watching that entire season, just like waiting for the incest. I was just like waiting for it.
Yeah, but it's weird that they didn't have any tits. It's weird that
that
Emilia Clarke was like, after the first season, I will barely show my tits.
Yeah, didn't she? Like, I'm not doing that anymore.
No, she did it in.
Didn't she have to renegotiate?
In season 3, remember she got out of the tub. You were like, nice.
Didn't she get out of the tub in season 1?
No, there's a scene in which...
she got in the tub.
Yeah, no, she got in the tub with the first episode of season 1. I'm talking season, I think it's 3, where her kind of boyfriend, who they changed the actor of, he can break into the tent with the heads of the generals of the Second Son, and then she's in the tub, and then she steps out, and you're like, nice.
Yeah, you see her...
I can't remember his name.
You see her naked in a more recent season, but it's probably CGI.
Oh yeah, well when the tent burns down, I'm pretty sure that's her body too.
Wasn't she?
Because it looks like the same.
Wasn't she only meant to be like immune to fire for that brief moment at the start of the books?
According to the books, they're not immune to fire at all.
But just that one time.
It was because of the dragons were present that protected her, because they're immune to fire.
Yeah.
Not her.
But now she's just like, magic powers.
But I'm kind of okay with that. Because aren't the Starks not immune to the cold, but they have a resistance to the cold, unlike any other family?
Well, probably. Sure. That's probably just a hidden thing that they have.
Yeah, and also they have connection to wolves.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line. Because in the books...
Clearly, because they have dire wolves as pets.
And also...
And wolves are not pets.
In the books, which they kind of acknowledge in the recent season, that Arya is having visions of Nymeria in the forest with her wolf pack. And that's in the books. And then when he gets to the recent season, she meets Nymeria again, and she has a wolf pack. You're like, oh, look, the books. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that to be the moment she died. I was like, please God, let that wolf rip her face off.
I was kind of expecting...
I was just like, this would be the best ending to a character ever. If they were just like, oh, you like wolves?
It was just like, hey, it's my dog.
Yeah.
Fucking dead.
I was waiting for it. I thought, it was cool.
Yeah, but I kind of expected her to make friends with Nymeria again, and then they can use the wolves against the White Walkers. But I suppose they haven't exactly closed that story.
I didn't want that to happen because I didn't want to see another wolf die, you know?
Yeah, but then again, since they killed off a few of them, they've just been like...
chilling.
And also, Ghost was barely in the recent season. I don't think he was in it at all.
Yeah, he rocked back up and they met, and then he sort of fucks off for most of the... Like, he's not around. It was weird. I remember noticing that.
afford to get the wolf on set, which is already hard because wolves are already like. The thing is, you can't really train a wolf.
No, I'm pretty sure they use dogs, Pat.
No. Because there was an AMA on Reddit about the wolf. Obviously, they're not that big, but they do have, because the guy was talking about, he's a trainer of ghost AMA, and they're talking about, is it actually a wolf? And he goes, yes, it is actually a wolf.
Well, then he'd be the only one, right? Certain stuff. Because in the like first season or whatever, or when they first had the wolves,
they were dogs.
Yeah. Because what's her name? Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
Didn't she adopt her one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when they're grown up, they are wolves. They just make them bigger with special effects.
Yeah. Bit of CGI.
Yeah.
But Sharp Objects. What's it about? Spoilers, I guess, because
that's on I won't spoil it because you haven't seen it.
No, I don't care. I want to talk about it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just ask questions on the way, because I'm sure I will forget to start. Basically,
is it based off a book?
No idea. I should look that up, because it seems like it could be,
like
because it's written really well.
I feel like there's a book. I think I've heard of a book.
Sharp Objects.
Then again, it would be pretty recent if it was a book.
It's a book. Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's the same girl that did Gone Girl.
Oh.
And Gone Girl is a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen it.
Huge fan of Gone Girl. I think it's like a modern thriller. Like it just has that great
Why do you have to
undertone.
Okay.
Why do I have to put the modern on something?
Yeah.
Because we're in a modern time.
Yeah, so if it's a thriller and it's in modern times, surely you only have to say that it's a thriller.
Yeah, but I want to say
I'll just surmise that it's
thriller.
modern.
Basically, you take the classic examples of what a thriller is, you put it in a modern setting, you add the genius of the director that David Fincher's directing, the way he started
you add
Trent
Ben Affleck,
and you add Trent Reznor's music from
jacked Batman, just like
he's
only jacked for a bit.
He's doing jacked at the end because they shot it in chronological order, so that way you can kind of see the point where he gets cast. So I can't remember what I was about to say now. You add Trent Reznor's music from Nine Nails. He's a surprisingly good music composer for movies. He always has a great tune. He's in all of the in Fincher's movies. He's just really good, and I really like Nine Nails as well. They're a little bit like Tool. A little bit.
Please don't.
Little bit.
Please don't.
Little bit.
We've already talked about how I don't like you.
Little bit.
Just this is like that.
Have you listened to
this show is like that. And if you say a show is like a show, I'll be much better than you saying Tool is like anything. Tool is just like this nice little morsel of goodness that I don't want you just ruining.
How am I ruining
compare it to things. You can't compare. It's unique.
Have you listened to Nine Nails?
Maybe a little. I don't know.
Well,
I listen to a lot of things that I don't actively listen to, but I have heard.
Well, we should come back to the next episode and you should listen to some Nine Nails and see if I'm right.
Sure, because I love listening to new music.
So, anyway. Sharp Objects is basically, there's a main character, Amy Adams. Her name is
Lois
Camille.
Lane.
Huh?
Lois Lane.
Yeah, Lois Lane, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's her name is Camille on the show. And then she goes back home to Windgap, which I'm not even sure if that's a real town. But anyway, it's the town in which it's set. Because there's basically been a killing of a little girl around about 13, I guess. I don't think they ever really say her age.
So would you say journalist?
Yeah, she is a journalist.
Journalist writes about crime.
It's never really clear what she writes about, but they say she's perfect for this one because this is where she's from.
Okay. And she comes back to her hometown, and let's say it eventuates that it's a serial killer, maybe.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because a serial implies 3.
There's
only 2 victims.
Someone comes to investigate the possibility of a serial killer.
Yes.
Oh, really?
What?
Is that true?
That someone comes to investigate the possibility of a serial killer?
Yeah.
I mean, she shows up because there have been 1 murder and 1 missing girl in her town.
But there's like a...
The girl basically turns up dead, and I think it's the end of the first episode.
Yeah. And at some point, there's a handsome police officer
There
comes
is a
to
handsome
investigate.
But actually, no,
The possibility.
he isn't that handsome, really. He's just...
But Amy Adams
But
has a possible romance with this character.
no, she definitely has a romance, but it isn't like a romance. It's more that she just fucks him.
Right.
Because she fucked up. And they do really good editing techniques of like basically not saying too much. You know what I mean? They constantly edit in like little flashbacks that she's having to traumatic times in her life, so you get like a what the fuck was that? When it's just like, but then it reveals over the season that's like it actually means this and that, and it's like and then
So she goes back to her hometown.
Yes.
She have family.
Yes, she has her mother, her stepfather,
from what I've
and her sister.
From what I've heard, she
sister,
has a
yes.
fucked up backstory.
Yes.
A pretty safe assumption that's got something to do with her family.
Yes.
Maybe his stepfather.
No.
Stepmother. Yeah.
Actual mother.
Actual mother.
You can't have both stepmother and stepfather at the same time.
I thought you said no to stepfather.
No, I said, you said father and I said no, stepfather.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, maybe this traumatic is something to do with their family, right?
Yep, it's very to do with their family because their mother's fucked up.
Oh. So her mother's fucked up.
Yeah.
And
she's this
like show is about this main character.
Yeah. No, yeah. Alright. I'll give you that. Since she's in every scene.
And her mum's fucked up.
Her mum's fucked up and she has a sister who is about 13, 14, the same age as the...
Stepsister?
The victim's half-sister, because they're the same mother, but not the same father.
Yeah, okay. So, just going off Maniac.
Yeah.
Does she have any dead relatives?
Yes. She has a dead sister.
Oh. How'd that go down?
Well, the thing is, they can't only reveal what exactly went down at the end. All you know that basically in the first episode is that she's dead.
Okay.
And that you know she's dead, and that they had a good relationship, and then at some point she died, and that fucked with her.
Yeah.
For so long. Because she was the main character is the rebellious child. And she's always out.
Yeah.
Well, when she was young, out drinking with her friends. Basically, throughout the entire show, she is fucking wasted. She can't stop drinking to drown her demons.
Does the plot come to fruition at the end of the season?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna make a prediction.
Okay.
And I might bleep it out because if I'm wrong, it'll be really.
The thing is,
if I'm wrong, it'll be really embarrassing.
I can't bleep it out because if I bleep it out, that means you're right.
We'll bleep it out either way then, maybe.
No. Just say your prediction, and then I'll say, well, what's correct?
It's her mum.
It's her mum in what way?
And I'm killing the girls.
But that can mean anything. Like, I'm pretty sure you're pretty far off with that.
Really?
Yeah, because like I forgot to add a detail. The murderer pulled their teeth out, and then the cop that comes in from like an outer city town to help solve this murder, he tries to pull teeth out of a pig head. Yeah, how tough it is. It's fucking tough to pull teeth out that don't want to come out. It's really hard.
So who is it then?
I'm not gonna say it unless we bleep it out.
Oh, well, say it.
Okay. You're right. It is the mother, but but the thing is, it's kind of ambiguous towards the end whether the main character's sister helped and the stepfather. It's not clear. All we know is that she lured the girls away, and that's all we know, and that was enough to tie her to the crime. So we don't actually... That's the thing that kills me about the end of that episode, is that they leave it right in the moment when they're about to reveal some crucial information. You go, well, fuck you. Because and then now I'm not going to get to know until the next season comes out, if it even comes out.
Yeah.
Kills me. Because we don't know if the stepfather was involved, because I don't think this old lady could have pulled teeth.
Do you know the ending of the book?
No.
So you don't even know if
I haven't read the book.
The story continues from there.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay.
It basically just ended with a, oh, come on. I don't know if it's going to get a second season. Because
I probably won't watch it now.
No, you should watch it. It's
But like,
really
I
good.
just
It's really good. It's so good. It's so good.
predicted it though.
Yeah, but like it doesn't really like. I feel like halfway through the show, the killer stops mattering as much as opposed to the main character because you get so engrossed in the main character as to what she is and what her backstory is. And she probably at the end of the first episode, she gets into a bath, and you see that her whole body is filled with scars of like words that she's cut into herself.
She's another.
Yeah, I guess.
Sweet.
But you should watch it. It's so good. Shall we move on to our next?
Yeah, my
topic
next
then?
topic is just sort of in relation to, because we just talked about TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose we put a spoiler warning on our I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just want to talk about,
I'll put in the edit.
at some point, I want spoilers to stop being a thing. I
I feel like spoilers need to be a thing, but it's like there's been a few times where I've been like, I watched, let's just say for example, I watched Jaws, and I go, that guy died, and he goes, come on, man, it's like fucking Jaws is like 50 years old.
Yeah, but I'm just, at some point, I want to be able to freely discuss something that I've seen without some walking past going, spoiler, like, what? Fucking don't listen into my conversation.
There was a time when I went to a McDonald's with one of my friends in Cobram, and I think Infinity War had just come out, and then it seemed about three weeks to a month after it came out, and we were just casually talking about it, and then a guy came back and went, hey, you stop talking about that, I haven't seen it yet. And I was just like, are you being serious? Like, if you're that worried about it, you should have already seen it.
Yeah.
If you're like, you're thinking, I need to know the plots because I don't want anything to ruin it, just go watch it like I did. I went and watched it as soon as I could because I didn't want it ruined because I thought it'd be a really good movie, and it was.
That's the sort of movie that you can't ruin for me. I've ruined it for myself.
You're the comic book man.
I'm the person that...
I just watched the movie.
The person that will analyze it before it even comes out to the point that we may know the plot of the next movie already. It's like a leaked plot.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I think I've already said a little bit to you.
Oh, did you say it on the podcast?
No.
Well, you should say it.
Oh.
What's leaked plot? Because I feel like even if it's a leaked plot, I feel like it's probably not going to be right.
You know, there's some time travel and some deaths and some...
It's coming out.
Then up fixing
next year, isn't it? When it's coming out
next year.
They can't include that many Marvel movies in between now and then because they've only had Ant-Man. I don't know what's next in terms of the Marvel.
I think
movie
they
Part 2.
only have Ant-Man.
Really? I feel like they have something else.
They
probably were going to have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I don't think
that was going to come out before Infinity War.
Okay.
It couldn't.
No, I suppose. I thought they were going to have something else before Part 2. Oh, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, when's that come out?
Soon. Like, I think it's I will look it up for you.
Yeah, they just... Ant-Man and the Wasp ties into it definitely, based off the leaked plot.
Which is?
Time travel? I don't know. I haven't seen Ant-Man vs. Wasp.
I haven't seen it either, but you know what leaked plot
But in the end, basically, I don't know.
So they somehow get the time stone then, since I assume that's the only way to time travel.
No, apparently, I don't know.
You're the comic book man. How do they time travel with
some
without time stone?
Tiny dimension that the Ant-Man finds or something? Maybe.
Ant-Man finds a... Okay. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said.
That's fucking... Oh, yeah. Alright. Okay, so would you realistically think that this could be the actual plot of the movie?
Yeah?
Yeah?
I could realistically see them making it into a movie. But, is it going to be?
No.
I'm not sure.
It's like when
there's some ending. The ending is far-fetched, if you ask me. But I guess I can see.
Captain Marvel comes out.
I guess I can see it.
6th of March.
I don't think they're going to have Captain Marvel in Infinity War.
I reckon they will because
she
because
will
they,
be.
They teased her at the end of the first one.
She will be the most powerful. Well, she maybe.
I mean, it depends on what they do with it, but they could.
They have to have
They can make it
her
less powerful.
as. She will be the most powerful character they've put in.
Isn't in the comics what's in there? Doctor Strange is really powerful, and they just kind of like toned him down for the movies, so he's not like a god with his power. And also, maybe you can explain this, but in Infinity War, why didn't? Because they established this in the movie Doctor Strange. Why didn't Doctor Strange just put Thanos in the mirror dimension? So that way, he can fight him in that.
But he's got the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, that's why I'm like, does the Infinity Gauntlet do the same thing that Doctor Strange can do?
It can do more.
Well,
Doctor Strange can't snap his fingers and kill a bunch of people.
No, but I'm saying Doctor Strange has abilities that Thanos doesn't have. Well, I suppose we don't.
Thanos is stronger than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a powerful character of the comics, but he's not all powerful.
You see,
he's strong, but he's still a man.
Yeah, but he's a man with a lot of abilities.
Yeah, but
in the
so
movie,
are a lot of other characters.
I haven't read the comics, but in the movie, it's kind of established that like the mirror dimension is this real thing, and I was just like, why they're doing the fight on Titan? I was like, why just put it in the mirror dimension? He didn't even try. Is what I was saying. It would have been fine to put the mirror dimension, and then he just punched himself out of it. Like, oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the mirror dimension. Maybe just like in Doctor Strange the movie, he puts the antagonist in that into the mirror dimension, and it's a mistake.
Is it?
Yeah, because he controls it.
Because they're more powerful in the mirror dimension.
Maybe he's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah, I suppose.
Or maybe
but only
when he
they
looks
had the
into
mark of that guy.
the millions of possibilities of the future, he's like, that's not going to help at all.
Yeah, I suppose it's possible. I was just more. I walked out of there and went, I didn't use the mirror dimension at all.
Yeah, I don't know why it would help.
Because they established in Doctor Strange that you want to fight in the mirror dimension because you're more powerful there.
Do they?
And also, even if we take part, even if we just
do they?
Just fuck that, yeah. No, and also because that way you won't mess up the real world. So in the first fight where they fight the wizard thing of Thanos and the big guy, they should have just fought in the mirror dimension. That way they wouldn't destroy New York. The way they do.
I don't think he would be able to bring like the other Avengers to the mirror dimension.
I'm pretty sure he can. I mean, I don't see why wouldn't he when he can bring his foes in.
Well, the only foes we've seen bring in there are wizards.
Yeah, but they don't like think, yes, this is where I want to be, essentially.
I don't think mirror dimension is a viable point in any of the movie.
I don't know. I felt like when I watched out Doctor Strange, I was like, damn, the mirror dimension's strong as fuck. It's basically just bring somewhere else and be like, oh yeah, let's just fight here.
It was more just a plot point for that movie.
Yeah, I suppose.
Really, they can't just... If they just started introducing plot points from other MCU franchises into, like, the concurrent, Avengers, then it wouldn't work, because there would be so many different things going on.
And how also when Doctor Strange...
It's the same way that they don't have Thor and Hulk in Civil War.
Because they'd be way too strong for it.
Yeah, and it would just ruin the basis of the story.
Yeah.
And that's the same in the comics.
Oh, is it?
They basically wrote Thor and Hulk out of the equation. They put Hulk on World War Hulk. You know, they put him on a different planet, basically. I can't remember what Thor was doing. Thor might be dying. Thor, it might have been Thor Ragnarok going on around the same time as Civil War in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Which might be the reason why he's not there in the movie as well.
I mean, in the movie, it's because he's on that planet.
They combined World War Hulk and Thor Ragnarok.
Is World War Hulk the same as Planet Hulk? Or am I thinking?
That's same thing.
Different things.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. Also, in the Civil War comics, there's like way more people fighting.
Yeah, because there's way more heroes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even
and
still...
there's villains as well. They have villains in it.
So what's the...
Namor the Submariner is like
in the
a
Civil War
huge
comics,
point.
what causes it?
Huh?
In the Civil War comics, what causes it?
Basically the same thing. The Superhero Registration Act.
Alright.
And Captain America and Iron Man are on on opposing sides.
Okay.
And that causes a split.
In the comics, not Captain America, does Iron Man have any powers at all?
He gets...
Or is he just a man?
He modifies himself at a point to be basically bioengineered.
Right, but he still modifies himself, so he doesn't have any powers.
Well,
like he's still just a
like
dude.
he uses the extremist on himself, but like modifies it.
The what?
It's like a super weapon. I don't know, like it's like a.
Alright.
You know how we've talked about it already, like the Weapon X program is like a super soldier serum, sort of trying to recreate that shit.
Weird because
Extremist is sort of that.
Wolverine Origins, I swear, maybe because it's a shitty movie, but they never really talk about the super soldier serum.
Like, I don't know, they might not be able to because it's MCU. Different companies own characters.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. Continue.
But the Extremist is it's basically just like super soldier shit, except way weirder. And Tony Stark modifies it and uses it himself to the point that he can like basically control his armor with his mind.
Alright.
And I think it gets to a point where Shield's like asks him to get rid of it because it's a bit extreme. Like it makes him really unbelievably powerful, sort of like the idea that he can control technology with his mind.
In the comics, is Shield Hydra?
Maybe not.
So
it's if it's a lot of, there's so many story arcs going on. You know, I don't know everything, but like Norman Osborn takes over Shield at a point. So if, that's not exactly...
Wait, who?
Norman Osborn, Green Goblin.
Green Goblin's in it. What? Okay. Continue.
Not in the movies.
No, just realized I didn't think that they would intersect is all.
What? Everything intersects in the Marvel comics.
Okay,
that's the point. It's a universe.
Yeah, but I feel like just certain stuff is, like, Green Goblin sticks with Spider-Man, and that's okay.
Characters can do whatever the fuck they want.
Like, I feel like the Green Goblin is only a Spider-Man villain. Does anyone else find him?
He's a Spider-Man villain, but he exists within the Marvel universe, so therefore it's entirely possible for him to tie into other things.
In the comics, does only Spider-Man fight the Sinister Six?
Yeah, well, it's all his villains, but
does he get help? Because that's a pretty big.
I've never read a comic where it's happened, but it's possible. Who knows?
Okay.
Like, if it doesn't exist, it could exist. Basically.
I mean, but the Heroes for Hire and all that, they could help.
They probably, But my idea is that just everybody's got their own thing going on. So.
Yeah. What's next on your list?
You wanted to talk about the Sphinx?
Oh yeah, I put that on mine, but because I was watching a video on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically a guy was saying how a geologist, I think that's what his title is. Well, maybe it's something else, but anyway, he's a geologist. Basically, he was saying that the Sphinx is old, much older than you
I've heard
think.
about that.
Yeah.
Something about water erosion around it.
Yeah,
dates it
and
much
also that
earlier.
it has possibly an ancient archive underneath it.
Yeah. And that's why I found it really interesting in Assassin's Creed Origins, where there's how Assassin's Creed has that like pre-civilization god people.
Yeah, I think it's called the first civilization.
Yeah, basically they have like temples and shit throughout the Assassin's Creed world, and there's a big one under the Sphinx.
Oh, nice.
Made me laugh. I was like, that could be right.
Basically, they were saying how there was some like underground archive, and the Sphinx is was originally built in, say, like 30,000 BC, as opposed to it's apparently built in like 2500 BC, and they were saying that they only got that date because that's when they restored it, and that it used to have a completely different head as opposed to the human head it has now, which is
believed to be like a depiction of a pharaoh, right? Like
they talk about that, but it's not the pharaoh because they did a facial reconstruction of the pharaoh, and it's not possibly him.
Okay,
it's just a depiction of something that we don't know.
Yeah,
and they talk about that, and that was
Do they talk about why there's such a big gap between when we think and when it probably is?
Because they talk about the
talk about meteorite, like
he didn't talk about that, but he talked about that there was a solar event which essentially forced people back underground and reset their civilization, essentially.
Yeah,
and they can prove that the solar event happened because of the icicles in Greenland or something along those lines. That they can prove that it happened.
Yeah.
And they say that happened in 9800 BC. And so that way, when they eventually came back and it was all fine, they could still restore the Sphinx. And that way, they still have some semblance of the technology. And he also said that he proved
maybe the Sphinx is what gave that generation of Egyptians the idea for pyramids. They're like, what is this pre-civilization object that we have to recreate?
But he also said that he thinks the Great Pyramid of Giza is older than you think. Because there is proof that the Red Pyramid, which is a smaller pyramid, is definitely built around another pyramid.
Yeah.
And that pyramid is much older, much, much older than the one that it is built around. He's saying that the Pyramid of Giza, which still isn't technically fully explored, because he's saying there's new evidence that there's a hidden part of the pyramid they haven't explored yet. Basically, that was built around or restored from another pyramid that was built much older. So he's saying there's this ancient civilization that was maybe far more advanced and got reset by this solar event. But he did clarify, because it does sound like it's saying they're like us now. No, they were still very ancient and primitive, but they were far more advanced than the rest of civilization.
Yeah,
but
we're always
by the solar
forgetting
event.
things and relearning things, right?
Yeah. And someone must have to survive because they still had the building technique, because you can prove that they had the same building techniques from the old one to the new one.
Yeah.
And they're saying that there's proof from ancient texts as well as modern proof of seismic things that they can check what's underground. There's definitely something underneath it. And it could be nothing. It could be just like an ancient chamber that they use for, I don't know, nothing.
That's fascinating. Because the pyramids are already so interesting.
Yeah, they're so fascinating that, they're just this huge thing that they built. The Sphinx is massive.
A long time ago, and now potentially even, longer
and also
ago.
he established that they built them far less efficiently than they know how to build, because when they built the Sphinx, they basically they would have carved the head above ground with whatever rocks or limestone they had, and they carved the rest underground. So they would carve it out of the sand or rock that was on. And then they would take the rock that they didn't use and build a temple out of that rock. And they can prove that the rock that from the Sphinx temple is from the Sphinx, because that's something they can prove. Because it's the same rock.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then it's but he said we don't know why they did that though, because if they wanted to build a temple using the same rock, there are way better ways to do it than the way that they did it, and that they can prove that they knew how to do, because they had built stuff in the past using a different method that is way better than the way they did it there, and they don't know why they did it. It could just be that some guy was like, that sounds good, and then in hindsight they went, there's a way better way to do that.
Yeah, well, that's totally possible, right?
Yeah.
I'm always doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's possible, but I don't. And also, he's saying that we still kind of don't know how they built the pyramids.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. You think
Like,
they
I'm pretty
would have
sure in
figured
like
that out by
podcast
now, but-
episode 1 or 2, I was saying it was just a bunch of slaves, but he was saying that he doesn't think that's possible, and he's the expert over me.
Yeah, I've always thought whatever it was meant to be, like 100,000 slaves.
They said, I'm pretty sure he said 10,000 slaves, and he said there's no evidence of them housing that sort of people.
Yeah.
You still have to put.
How effective
Somewhere.
can slaves be at labor?
I mean, pretty effective.
I suppose, but the way they're depicted in like the Ten
Media.
Commandments or whatever
Oh,
is just like they're so mistreated and malnourished. There's no way they could be achieving that kind of labor
Yeah.
without
to move
food
10-ton
or
stone slabs.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Doesn't
in my
make
mind, it was
sense.
always slaves and engineering. Because you can negate some weight with
Engineering.
with certain engineering, but
Pulleys and
he was
pivots
saying
and-
that in theory is impossible, as far as he knows, and he's the expert. So yeah,
It's fucking
Yeah.
super interesting that
yeah,
we learn certain things about, the pyramids or whatever.
yeah.
And then at some point, scientists
Yeah.
are just like, we're still
yeah.
really debating and
I mean,
discussing what it is.
I still really
Like,
want to know what
that's
happened
fucked.
to the golden tip.
The what?
The Great Pyramid of Giza used to have a golden tip, a huge piece of solid gold that was on the tip of it. That's why you look at the Pyramid of Giza; it's just flat at the top. They used to have a solid gold tip, and Alexander the Great apparently stole it, and where it is now.
Man, it's probably just buried under.
I mean, like
How many cities did Alexander the Great name after himself? Pinpoint them around the world and dig those motherfuckers up. And we'll find it. And we'll be rich.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm just saying they don't really know where it is. It was there, and then maybe he stole it, and then it's gone.
I mean, if he stole it,
That's a huge piece of the thing to steal, and then to take back to Greece.
like it would have been cut down to move. So there's probably no way that even if you found the gold,
Yeah.
you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Because they would have been able to basically rip it apart.
Yeah.
for travel.
In my mind, it always just got melted down and made it out to other stuff.
So they probably
But
would
I was
have.
still like, I
They
really
probably
want
would
to know
have
what
cut it
happened to
into smaller bits for moving,
Yeah.
for transport, and then melted it down into fucking coins or something.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't know where it is.
But I'm just like that's one of those history things that I kind of want to know what happened to.
I want to know what happened to the Spear of Destiny.
I was about to say, I was like, because I want to know if it's real.
I think it is. It was. It is.
Was
It
it?
was wasn't it in a fucking museum? Didn't Hitler steal it?
I'm pretty sure Hitler stealing it is a myth.
Really?
Yeah, because we know Hitler wanted it, and he wanted Rommel to get it while he was in Africa.
But it was in a museum in
I'm pretty sure
France or something.
I'll look it up because I'm pretty sure that's not real.
I thought he got it. Then we don't know what happened to it after that. Or it was stolen, but he never received it from there, or something. You just looking it up?
Yep. I'm just gonna look it up and see if it's apparently a lot of people are wondering where they can get it. And I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's not like you're going, oh, there it is. Oh, I just cracked the
Yeah,
case.
it's probably in a game.
It's in Constantine. It's great. And that. Hang on. Oh, wait. So, okay. Hang on. So apparently it was in then again, it does say that the Roman Catholic Church has proclaimed that this is the spear, but it's never seemed to prove it.
Yeah, well, obviously.
and because they never seem to let any archaeological people examine to whether it's from the time period that Jesus is from.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently it was in Vienna for a time, and then it's gone missing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's just like,
He could have got it and realised, oh, it's not real.
yeah, they probably got to like, this isn't even from,
Yeah.
this isn't even a Roman spear. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, every time they show like a picture of it, or like their depiction, I'm like, not that much like a Roman spear to me.
I don't know. I don't know what Roman spears look
I mean,
like.
Roman spears were like little like points. They were just very.
Oh, that's
No, I'm
very
saying
broad.
They
Thank
were
you.
very simple, but the one that stabbed Jesus is very like ornamented and stuff.
Well, he maybe. I don't know. He was probably a higher up. I don't know.
Wasn't it
That dude
just a dude?
became devout Christian.
Yeah, of course he did, because it's a Bible. No, I'm not going to say. And he stabbed him, and he went back to his wife and went, guess what I just fucking did? And then he plowed her.
Yeah, no, he didn't stab a dude, get his blood in his eyes, and go, oh, fuck, gross!
Yeah, he's like,
Jesus!
Yeah, he's like,
I can see perfectly fine now, holy shit.
He's like, I've had 12 friends die in the last week from this very thing, because everyone just got sick.
But for me, it cured my cataracts.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, that's fucking... Oh, well, I mean, the Bible's done.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
moving on. We always get off topic here.
Yeah.
We always digress fairly
Fun
heavily.
podcast. It's all part of the fun.
Just last on my list is the NBA started back up.
Yeah, it fucking did. It started up with the preseason.
Yeah.
And
Which apparently doesn't matter because you don't even watch all 4 quarters.
No. Because I'm only watching it for to watch the real players play, to see how they've improved in the off season. And in the fourth quarter, they just played their benches. All the guys probably won't to get to play much during the season at all. So,
That's great.
Yeah, so that started up, and I got to watch the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Melbourne Victory. No, I don't think it was-
Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne. I can't remember what their team name was, but anyway, they did pretty good in the first quarter, and then Philly was like, "No, fuck off, man." But it was but it was really good because I got to see Markel Fultz play, who was #1 pick a year ago, and it looked to be this like perfect all round offensive player with still good defensive skills. Then as soon as he got to the not summer league, he played the summer league, which is like where all like the young players play, and they had this like, small tournament.
Yeah.
In Vegas, and then they'll play the young players and like some people who want to make the team prove themselves. It's actually quite good, surprisingly. It's been pretty shit in the past,
surprisingly.
but
You said that a lot.
but these recent stuff's been like, oh, it's actually been kind of competitive. And it's like, there's still a lot of people just like missing shots, and you go, they're going to make it back to the roster. You just missed a wide open shot. It's not like the coach sees that and goes, yeah, but at least he's trying on defense.
He deserves to be in the game.
There's certain people that you go, he's just fucking good, and then they'll make a roster. Or they'll be like second year players who come into summer league and just fucking crush everything in their way because they're probably too good for summer league, but they're like, I want to play. And the coach is like, all right, and then they just fucking destroy everything in their way and go, and then they get back to the NBA and they're like, it's barely a bench player. It's great stuff. But basically, I got to see, because when Markel did his summer league, he got injured towards the end of summer league, and he came to the NBA in the first game, and somehow in that time, he just forgot how to shoot. He changed his mechanics, and he just couldn't shoot at all anymore. He shot in the weirdest form. He basically pushed it as opposed to shoot like you're supposed to. And then he just played 5 games, and they said, nah, he's injured. And he sat out the next 4 months. And then he came back for the last 5-6 games of the season to just you should play, and he still couldn't shoot, and it was really bad. And you're kind of I hope they didn't waste their #1 pick because they definitely they traded some crucial asset to get up to that #1 pick to select Markel because
And then he wasn't helpful.
Because when you were drafting him, and even in some league, he looked like the perfect guy to pair along with their 2 huge stars in Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who are just monstrous players. They're so good, and you can definitely see them being the future of the league, as in a 1-2. How are you going to stop this punch? And then this guy comes along, they go, this is the man that's going to bring it all together. And then he can't shoot, and if he can't shoot next to a guy, Ben Simmons, who can't really shoot that well, but his skill set doesn't really need him to. But he needs to have people alongside him that can shoot, and Markel was that guy, and now he's just uh-oh, can't shoot anymore. This doesn't look good. And then it's throughout when he's off, They're just like so many like talk shows like, is Marco ever going to come back, or was like there was numerous articles of like, should Philly just trade their star players and start over again? It's like, no, they shouldn't, because even if Marco ends up being trashed, they still have 2 generational talents that may never come on again. And so with preseason, he got to start and he looked pretty good. He was still a little reluctant to shoot, but he still shot and made it, and he made both his free throws, which is important because when he played the NBA, I think he made like 2 from 20 or something like that. It was real bad.
So, in summary, you're excited for the coming season of basketball.
Yes.
And I,
couldn't give a
as
shit.
Most of the population of Australia, have
yeah.
very little input into the matter. So,
yeah.
we might just have to leave it there.
But did the AFL Grand Final just happen? You couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less because Richmond missed out on it by by one game.
That was a really bad game. It was like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, got PTSD.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the end of our 5th episode.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far in, thanks for listening.
I apologise.
Yeah. And
yeah. And look forward to our next episode. That'll come out whenever it decides to come out, and
hopefully we get it weekly.
And
even though we all know it doesn't matter.
When the 6th episode comes out, I'm pretty sure the NBA regular season will have started, so that's exciting. It is for me anyway. Yes, and maybe there's some guy that happens to listen and go, "What the fuck's this?" And he goes, "I love NBA," and but then he turns it off and realizes, "Should be watching basketball."
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah. See you next time.